What's up guys, this is Jonas from Natural Max Fitness and today's video is all about the muscle that we all love and that we all want, the good old biceps. But before we get started, I also want to say that I see that the channel is slowly growing and that there are more people watching my videos. So first of all, thank you so much, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, then make sure you do, and I would really appreciate it. Your support truly means a lot to me. And also, if you have any topic ideas or anything you would like me to cover in the future, then let me know in the comments and let's build a little community here. But without further ado, let's get to today's topic. When it comes to biceps growth, I often get comments like, man, you have such blessed biceps genetics, or you're so lucky. And of course, that's true to a point. Genetics play a big role when it comes to how you will end up looking. And especially, of course, when it comes to the shape of the muscle. You can see the peak here. Of course, genetics play a role when it comes to that, but it's also about how you train. And I know that I probably train my arms harder than 95% of all bodybuilders. And I'm not just saying that to brag, but to actually encourage you to give these tips that I'm going to give you in this video a try. And if you give your biceps a little bit more love in your training, then the chances are high that you're going to see much better results. And that I can promise you guys. So let's dive right into this and start with tip number 1. So the first tip is to train your biceps from all angles. And when I say all angles, I mean doing exercises where your elbows are in front of your body and doing exercises where your elbows are behind of your body. A lot of people, when they train biceps, they do barbell curls or dumbbell curls, and then they do standing hammer curls. And don't get me wrong, those are great exercises, but those mainly train the long head of your biceps. Most people completely neglect the short head of your biceps, and you train the short head by doing exercises where your elbows are behind your body and where they stay there. So for example, doing incline dumbbell curls or doing drag curls or drag hammer curls, and when you do them, make sure that your elbows stay behind your body all the time and don't move your elbows at all. So when you do regular dumbbell curls, it's completely okay to move your elbows a bit, as long as you don't turn it into a complete front raise, of course, and your front delts do all the work. But as long as you move your elbows a little bit, that's okay for the long head. But when you train the short head, make sure your elbows stay behind your body. And the short head gives you the peak of the biceps, and it's really important, so don't neglect it. The second tip would be to give your biceps the attention that he needs to grow. Or in other words, give your biceps the love that he needs to grow. And what I mean with that is, don't be afraid to experiment with higher volumes when it comes to arm training. A lot of people like to do push-pull legs, and that's completely okay. That's a good split that I've used multiple times in the past. Not only on myself, but also with a bunch of clients that I've trained. But the problem when it comes to pull workouts are, they end up doing 8 sets, 12 sets, 16 sets for their backs and their traps. And then they do 1 or 2 exercises for their biceps, which usually are regular barbell curls. Again, they completely neglect the short head work where the elbows are behind the back. And they end up not being satisfied with their biceps gains. And I would recommend to them to do a little bit more volume and to look at them as a complete muscle group, not just as a secondary muscle group that you can train a little bit after the real work is done, which is your back workout. One option could be to add in an arm day once a week, where you completely focus on training your biceps, your triceps and your forearms. Another option would be to use periodization methods. So for example, if you do 2 pull workouts or 2 upper body workouts a week, then use one where you train your biceps first thing in the workout. When you train a muscle in a fresh state, then progressive overload tends to happen a lot faster, and you're also going to make better gains in the long run. So for a few weeks, try that out, do barbell curls or do incline curls, first thing in your pull workout or first thing in your upper body workout, and I guarantee you that you will see better gains for your biceps. Tip number 3 is to cover the 3 main drivers of hypertrophy in your biceps workout. So when people train biceps, they tend to train those really high rep ranges and they tend to do a lot of pump work. They do it because it just feels right. It gives them a great pump, a great feeling in their arms. And generally speaking, that's not a bad strategy. It's taking care of one of the main drivers of muscle hypertrophy, which is metabolic stress. With the increased blood flow that occurs when you use these higher rep ranges, there's an increased output of anabolic hormones like growth hormone or testosterone, which is great for muscle growth. However, there are also two other drivers of muscle hypertrophy which you should also cover in your workout. The first one would be mechanical tension. And mechanical tension increases with the weight you are using. So it's also a good idea to use some lower rep ranges, especially when you do those heavy compound movements like heavy barbell curls or heavy hammer curls. It's a good idea to do sets in lower rep ranges from 3 all the way to 6 reps because it drives progressive overload and it's the best way to stimulate those fast twitch muscle fibers which have the highest potential for muscle growth. The third factor which you should also cover in your workouts is muscle damage. And you create muscle damage by really controlling the eccentric. Again, if you use heavier weights, the force that you create on the eccentric is much higher than you would with lower weights, obviously. And by controlling the eccentric, you create those tiny micro tears in those muscle fibers, which then force your body to readapt by growing the muscle even stronger and making the muscle cells less vulnerable. For only $20, you can get my training program which covers all of those factors by heading over to $20transformation.com. The program also includes personal email support, macro and calorie calculation, as well as meal plan examples for everyone. If you want to get into the best shape of your life and you want to see the results of your lifetime, then make sure to take advantage of this offer. It's customized training and nutrition planning by a competitive natural bodybuilder for only $20. And it's only available for a limited time, so make sure to join the team today and let's get these gains. And tip number 4, don't neglect hammer curls. A lot of people, when they think about big arms, they think about biceps and triceps development. However, many completely forget about this little muscle that is located between your biceps and your triceps, the brachialis. And the brachialis is super important for arm width. You train the brachialis by changing your grip from a supinated grip to a neutral grip or hammer curl grip. And to get a solid overall arm development, I recommend to do about 2/3 of your overall biceps volume in a supinated grip and 1/3 in a hammer curl grip. And again, you want to do hammer curl variations where your elbows are in front of your body, like regular hammer curls or cross arm curls. And you also want to do exercises where your elbows are behind your body for the short head. It's the same thing. And incline hammer curls, for example, are also a great option for that. But make sure you train your biceps from both angles, no matter if you're in a supinated position or a neutral position. So this is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, if you want a complete workout program that contains the training strategies and methods that I've used to get the physique that I have today naturally, then head over to $20transformation.com and start your transformation today. I hope you found this video helpful. Stay healthy, stay blessed. See you next time.